Hello, everyone. Welcome back again to the discussion lab. And today we're going to talk about reasons why you should speak up, why sometimes keeping quiet can cause more harm, can potentially kill your dreams, probably even harm someone. And so you should speak up. I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why it's important to speak up, and then we'll go from there. So imagine this, right? Imagine you are on a boat. You are on a boat going somewhere with a group of people. And then you notice that someone is drilling a hole with a little screwdriver, drilling a hole in the boat. From where you are sitting, you're able to see the person, and you decide to keep quiet because, hey, the person looks bigger, it's stronger than you and stuff. But think of it, you're in the middle of the ocean, someone is drilling a boat. What do you think is going to happen? If you keep quiet and this person continues to do that because you are afraid of the person because they are bigger than you, the boat is going to start leaking. Everyone on the boat now is potentially going to sink. And now the fear that you have over the person is very small compared to the ocean that you're going to drown in. And so sometimes you really have to think about the consequences that are big. I know it is difficult to do. I could also play this analogy in the same way where you are on a plane and then you see someone trying to open the door. You have to speak up because it can cause more harm, right? I'm going to give you a few reasons why you should speak up. The first one, as I've been kind of alluding with the analogies I gave, is it prevents bigger issues. When you see someone doing something bad, not once, consistently, and probably even once, and you know that the person should not do it, you should potentially speak up, because guess what? If you don't speak up, you are subconsciously telling the person that it is okay, especially they know that you saw them. They are telling the person, oh, I saw you and I'm not going to report. So it's okay for you to continue doing what you know that is bad and you are doing. And so this potentially would not help the group, the society, wherever you are. It can lead to bigger problems because now you are subconsciously encouraging this person if you decide to keep quiet. The second reason is, most of the time, many of us have been potentially harmed or abused one way or the other, and we could not speak up because at that time we didn't even understand what was happening to us, or we didn't even have the capabilities and we're not capable of speaking up. But when you get older, you should speak up, especially if there's a potential that the person can or will or is doing that. Reason is, it might be the beginning of your healing. So that's the second point. It might be the beginning of your healing. When you've gone through an experience that was dangerous to you, right? That had a negative impact on you. Many people do not have the capability to heal without expressing this pain out. One way or the other, you have to let the pain go. Some people can just keep quiet and naturally let the pain dissolve in them and it vanishes away. Most of us, we have to speak up. And that's one way that therapy helps, right? Going to therapy is not necessarily that you're going to just get solution from someone, no, but it's just the act of speaking up, hearing yourself go through the painful thing and making you think through it. Sometimes it helps, and that's one of the biggest way of healing. So the first reason that you should speak up is it prevents bigger problems. Second one is at the start of your healing. And now the third one is, what I've realized is, it builds your own confidence and enforces your own integrity. What do I mean? If you report someone doing something bad, subconsciously put you on your toes. You dare not, and you cannot do the same thing, because now it's going to be like, isn't this person that reported this person A doing that and he's doing that or worse? And so one reason why I encourage people to do that is it keeps everyone on their toes, right? It's not a bad thing, but sometimes we need guidelines to make us be in lane, stay on a lane and not do the things we should not do. Now, I know that it's difficult to speak up, and in fact, there are dangers of speaking up, and I think it should be fair that I should address that. And one of the dangers of speaking up is being embarrassed about the incidents, especially if it was an abuse towards you or someone you love. And if you are not careful, depending on this environment you're in, you could even be labeled, right? And so the embarrassment and the label tag that comes with it is one of the reasons why people will choose not to speak up. There are many people who have been abused in their churches, in their religious sect. And based for one reason or the other, they would rather not share it because they are afraid of the embarrassment that would come their way. and the label and the tag that we put on them. And to be fair, I understand that it's very difficult to put your issue out there because everyone is trying to pretend that they have a good life, a great life. And you are going to point out someone who has done wrong and is potentially still doing the same thing. So that's one of the dangers. So if you also decide to speak up, know that there's a potential that you could feel embarrassed and you could be labeled. But at the end of the day, think of the bigger thing, what you are trying to do, right? It's part of your healing, and you are trying to help the society or the group, the church, the organization that you are in. The second thing that might happen, or second danger might happen when you decide to speak up, is the misrepresentation and misinformation. People are going to miscue and twist your information, right? So if you've been abused before, or you caught this person stealing in an office, and you go to say that, hey, they announce that, hey, money is missing, and you go, I'm not sure, but I think I saw this person go into the room, you should talk to the person. People are going to just misconstrue the words you said, that this person said it was you, or I also saw you go into the room, or aren't you the person that encouraged this person to do it? There's so many forms of misrepresentation and misinformation that could happen, and you should be aware of it. Once you decide to speak up, one of the dangers is you are going to be misconstrued, your words are going to be twisted, and it's going to be painful. I've seen it happen to people, and it's just something that you should be aware of. Third one is probably that it could lead to the society shunning you, especially if you are in a group that believe in a certain norms and they have certain lifestyle that they follow. And you are trying to speak up against one of their heads or their leader. It's a big thing. You have to be careful, because if you feel like you are trying to go against one of the leaders, especially if the leader is, in quotes, beloved, has been able to construe people's mindset in his or her way. And so you have to be ready that this is likely to happen. I'm just letting you know that there are dangers of speaking up, but I believe that you should speak up. Let's talk about a few ways how you can go about it. I always tell people that if you feel like speaking up, your life is going to be in danger, please don't. Please protect your life. I think that you should protect your life at any time where you can. If speaking up can potentially cause massive harm to your life or the life of your loved ones, then in my naive opinion, please don't, right? So make sure that you can handle the embarrassment we mentioned, the social shun that might happen. And possibly there could even be a sideline. If you're an organization and you report some incidents that need to be reported, you could be sidelined when the organization is not ready to fix itself. And one way that I also encourage people to speak up when the timing is not right, you think that your life or you might not be capable at a point, is to document things, right? So did you ever tell someone? So anytime someone is doing something wrong that you think is not in the right direction, I highly suggest find a way of properly documenting it with a timeline. One of the best way if you're in the work is sending an email, because guess what? An email comes at a timestamp, right? That it's very difficult to go and edit that. And so I send it to someone within the organization you can trust. And so emails is one great way of documenting things. If not, possibly write it in a diary somewhere and date it. Always put a timestamp on things so that there should be at least some kind of documentation if an instance is difficult for you to report it. If you have a diary, write it inside, even in coded words, so that it's not easy for people to break through. I want you to remember this, right? Speaking up is key. If we all decide to keep quiet and let the wrongdoers continue to do wrong, our society is really going to go down a very bad path. Speaking up is difficult, but I highly believe if your life is not going to be in danger, document it for evidence sake and try to speak up, at least to someone else. Not even if you can't report it, document it for future to speak up. Please have this in your mind. If you do not speak up and if you do not stand up for the right thing, all of us are going to drown on that boat. If we are in the plane, all of us are going to lose air, and possibly that plane might crash. But bear in mind, I'm a naive observer. I know nothing. I just observe. Peace.